counts of breaking and entering, 54 cases of damage to public property, 280 reported cases of causing a public nuisance. As an adult, you would be given 402 life sentences. No parole.
Okay.
Gumball basically commits a crime in almost every episode, be it reckless endangerment of thousands or public property destruction. So I'm curious, if Elmore had a competent sheriff, how much time would Gumball really spend in jail? To keep things fair, I'll be using California state law to judge him, since Elmore is basically based on a California town, and I'm trying him as an adult. So let's start with the episode The Debt. And in this episode, Gumball is an absolute menace to Mr. Gaylord.
That's my zip. What are you doing here?
I'm here to save your life.
You see, all Gumball wants is to save Mr. Robinson's life, but he almost kills him instead. First, he gives the Heimlich so hard that Mr. Robinson coughs up his own heart. And later on, he shocks him with a defibrillator while he was chilling in a tanning bed. Yeah, that's not saving someone's life, that's attempted manslaughter. If this happened in real life, that's a straight-up assault charge. Even worse, assault on an elderly, plus reckless endangerment, easily landing Gumball 4 years behind bars and a fine of $6,000. But in The Laziest? Oh man, Gumball levels up from menace to full-blown stalker. Hey, a quick favor before we dive back in. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button and consider subscribing. Believe it or not, over 87% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's totally free, takes just a second, and helps the channel more than you know. Already subscribed? You're the best, thank you. Now, let's get back to the video.
Larry, we need you to beat our dad in a lazy off.
I'm sorry, kids, but I'm not that guy anymore.
He and Darwin basically torment poor Larry into competing in a lazy-off against their dad. And keep in mind, Larry really doesn't want to do this. But that doesn't stop the boys. They follow him everywhere, begging, harassing, not letting him breathe. Larry gets so stressed he snaps at a customer at work and gets himself fired. Then, things get worse. He spots Gumball and Darwin in the back seat of his car, through the mirror, like a horror movie. He panics, jumps out, and lets his car roll off a cliff and explode. But Gumball and Darwin do not care. They just keep begging. It all comes to a breaking point when they track him down at a restaurant with his girlfriend. Larry finally loses it, throws stuff at them, and accidentally hits his girlfriend instead. Just like that, Larry loses his job, his car, his relationship, everything. And thanks to Gumball and Darwin's relentless pressure, he sinks right back into being lazy Larry. Legally speaking, this is textbook harassment, stalking, destruction of property, and reckless endangerment. All because Gumball wouldn't take no for an answer. And then we've got the flower. This one gets dark.
Oh, Leslie, what would I do without you?
That's how it starts. Soon he'll be your boyfriend and you'll be his twin.
Under the influence of his own jealousy, Gumball basically tries to kill Leslie. At first, it's small things, mocking him, charging at him, breaking a trophy case to frame him, but then it escalates. Gumball glues Leslie to a bench, dumps a bunch of herbivorous insects on him, and just walks away while they start eating him alive.
That's right. I've glued you to the bench.
Yeah, forget petty mischief. That's first-degree attempted murder, straight up. If this was real life, Gumball wouldn't be in detention. He'd be facing a felony charge of life behind bars. And because Leslie's technically a friend, it only makes it worse. And that's not the only time Gumball is guilty of attempted murder. Even though this one is second-degree attempted murder, in The Job, he and Darwin accidentally drop the Pepperoni family's infant pizza child and kill it.
Here's a 20.
That's 9 years in prison, but if I were the judge, because this is a child we are talking about, 25 years. In Halloween, Gumball literally frames Larry as a wanted criminal, which ends with him getting arrested. That's false accusation, slander, and wrongful imprisonment rolled into one. But they don't stop there. Nope. They go on a possession spree, harassing half the town. Tina gets possessed and face planted into the sidewalk. Mr. Robinson and Mrs. Robinson get harassed too. And Gumball just bails on all of them. Yeah, that's not just Halloween hijinks. That's multiple counts of assault, harassment, and reckless endangerment, adding a few years on his record easily. Then we get to the finale, and this one is basically the Wattersons' rap sheet catching up with them. See, thanks to all their chaos over the years, they owe the town of Elmore $800,000. To fix it, Gumball and Darwin go full scam mode. After the Wattersons broke out of prison, Gumball decided that the best revenge on Mr. Small, who sued them for giving him claustrophobia, is to literally compress him into an envelope and ship him off to the tiniest country on Earth.
Do you think we made things bad enough? There, now let's go and post him to the smallest country in the world.
That's kidnapping and aggravated assault. Gumball isn't just looking at years now, we're talking decades. In the recipe, Gumball wants to know why Anton keeps coming back to life. Reasonable curiosity, except instead of, I don't know, asking him, Gumball decides to just kill him. Over and over and over. That's serial murder. 50 counts minimum.
Maybe we should just ask him.
Maybe you should have said that before we iced him 50 times in a row.
And if that wasn't enough, Gumball straight up clones Anton without permission, pumping out an entire army of ant clones and locking them in a shed. The first clone, Ant 1, wipes them all out, which means Gumball's reckless experiment basically turned into a genocide. For this crime against bread people, we're talking life sentences stacked like pancakes. In perhaps his most infamous streak of actions, after Allan took the blame for him damaging a library computer in The Saint, Gumball decides to psychologically break Allan out of boredom, and to prove he can bring him down to his level. First, he hacks Allan's Elmore Plus and makes a xenophobic post, instantly turning Allan's friends against him. Then he uses a balloon with Darwin's face on it to fake kisses with other students, tanking Allan's relationship. He eats Allan's last meatball just to spite him. And the worst of it?
I sold your parents.
Now, who wants to see balloon tricks?
This is identity theft, harassment, defamation, sabotage, and human trafficking, all because Gumball couldn't handle Allan being a decent guy. If Elmore had real law enforcement, Gumball would not be seeing daylight ever again. In the parking, Gumball accidentally stabs milk carton guy with his car keys, and when he tries to fix it, he causes him to start bleeding out his milk.
Let me fix that. Oh.
And instead of Gumball calling an ambulance, he runs away from the scene. Second-degree attempted murder again. 9 years in jail.
Good job, Carrie. This is gonna work.
So it's Halloween, and instead of just dressing up like normal kids, Gumball decides to run a full-on fraud operation with Carrie in The Scam. The plan is to stage a fake haunting, then charge the whole school candy for ghost extermination. Carrie plays the demon Gargaroth, Gumball and Darwin act like professional Ghostbusters, and together they scam not just their classmates, but the entire town out of their candy.
All right, take it.
To make things worse, Gargaroth is real and he almost destroys Elmore. He's guilty of fraud, conspiracy, extortion, reckless endangerment. In fact, this scam alone stacks decades onto his sentence. Now we get to the nuisance. And this one is just catastrophic. Gumball and the Wattersons basically turn all of Elmore into their personal sandbox of destruction. First, they wreck a house with termites, and as if that's not criminal enough, Gumball actually tries to recruit Sal Left Thumb, an actual wanted criminal, to mug random pedestrians, but the wildest crime is intentionally bombing the entire town. That's arson, public endangerment, domestic terrorism, take your pick. Realistically, this is a life sentence all by itself.
I think everything will be just fine.
In the mess, Gumball made a false promise to Penny that he will be well slept before he babysits her younger sister Polly. It's simple, except he doesn't sleep at all, and runs around Elmore half delirious, leaving destruction in his wake. Things get so bad that when he thinks he's knocked a guy out, he actually tries to cover up the crime scene like some rookie mobster.
Okay, we make it look like it happened from natural causes.
What? How?
There, like this.
reckless negligence, and attempted obstruction of justice. At minimum, it's child endangerment stacked with a possible assault charge, all because Gumball couldn't be bothered to nap. But it gets crazier in the distance. This episode feels less like a cartoon episode and more like a true crime documentary. Gumball gets so obsessed with saving his bond with Darwin that he takes advice from some random guy online. Next thing you know, he ties up his own sister, sneaks into the basement to wreck Darwin's fish tank, and in the process breaks a gas pipe that blows up the entire house.
Actually, the plan was to frame us both for destruction of property, so we'd have to share a life sentence in a co-solitary confinement prison cell, and we'd have to be together forever.
We're talking kidnapping, arson, reckless endangerment, and conspiracy all at once. Easily decades behind bars just from this stunt alone. At this point, Gumball Watterson is facing life in prison plus about 400 years, all for crimes against humanity. And I could keep going, but this video would be so long they're going to arrest me for being obsessed over this criminal.